Welcome back, everybody. Today's project is a trailer. Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Robert, and this is a 1997 homemade trailer that I bought on Facebook Marketplace for just a couple of $100. I intentionally found the rattiest one I could find because I wanted a project. This is a project not only for me, but also for my son and several of his friends. We homeschool, and my son is 16. A bunch of his friends are 15, 16. There's a 14-year-old, I think. But a bunch of these boys want to learn some hands-on experience, gain some hands-on experiences and learn some things. So I'm going to be involving them in this project. They're going to help strip it down. We're going to remove all the wiring, replace all the wiring, make it new. It is chafed in a whole bunch of different spots, and so I just want it all to be fresh. These axles are old mobile home axles. I don't even know how old they are, but when you pop off these hubs and pull that drum off, I'll show you a picture of that here too, but the insides are in really bad shape. The brakes are weld-on brakes. There's not a flange to bolt on a new backing plate, so that's going to be very challenging to even find parts. You know, these mobile home axles are you know, from what I have read, they're supposed to be single-use, one-time use pieces of equipment anyways. They're not really intended for this, but so I'm going to be replacing the axles and putting some new ones on. I'm going to use some 3,500 pound axles. I think that'll be plenty for what I want to do here. Then we're going to be wire brushing everything, going to primer it, paint it. I'm going to get some stickers, some reflective stickers, dress it all up, and then put on some decking, and then it'll be ready to go. My long-term goal for this will be to, well, I had a couple of ideas. One was to flip it, but now that I know these axles need to be replaced, there's not going to be a ton of profit in this thing. I'll end up being able to sell it for what it's probably worth. I wanted a trailer anyways, though, because I want to buy an old truck. Like, I think the one I want the most is maybe a 73 to 77 Ford. Crew cab would be great. I will settle for a super cab. But those are, I just really like those body styles. And I really like watching the videos of guys that take those older trucks and put like a 7.3 power stroke in them, or maybe even a 6.7, who knows. I'll see what I can get, and if I can find a truck that's running as is and just needs a little bit of work, I'll run that around for a little while too, before I put a newer engine in it. But those are just some of my goals and dreams. So but for now, let's get to work on this trailer.
On Friday afternoons, I work until 3 o'clock, and the boys usually arrive right around then. They stay for about 2 hours, and we spend that time working on projects like this together. For this stage, we start out by removing the lights and all of the wiring. We're cutting away the wires off of the brakes too. The goal is to clear everything out of the way so it's easy for the next steps. We also had to remove the bolts and the screws that were still on the frame that were used previously to hold down the previous decking. What we're doing now is heating up this fender with a blowtorch. These fenders were covered in dents, and some of them were even pinched and creased on the edge. We wanted to get everything looking as clean and straight as possible before doing any wire brushing to prep for paint. Since we knew the heat would loosen some of the paint, it made sense to do it in this order. After an hour or two, these rough old fenders were looking so much straighter. The boys especially loved using the blowtorch. And honestly, who doesn't love a little fire, am I right? We also had to remove the wheels from the hubs so that we could hammer from the inside. And you can see us at various points here using a little block of wood behind the metal to help straighten things out as much as possible while we're hammering from the opposite side. The next week later, it was time to begin the wire brush process. I put word out on our text thread for anybody who had an angle grinder or a drill and a wire cone or wire wheel to bring it. And we had enough tools for everybody to keep working. That made for a fast job. This thing was a huge mess, and by having everybody work together, we got it knocked out in a hurry.
One thing I have had a hard time with on this trailer is figuring out how to order new axles. These axles are really old, the bearings are totally shot, the brakes are even worse, and these wheels here are the tires are really old. The wheels, I'm not sure if they're any good. I know this one's not even on the bead, and I haven't tried to set it because this is really old rubber anyways. Back to measuring though. I've got an idea, and I think I've figured it out. My issue is, normally what you do is you measure hub face to hub face. And that is a problem here on this one because these mobile home axles have a different hub face. It rides on this little perch right here. And I know that that's going to be different spacing than the standard axles. I'm going to order some Dexter axles to put on here. And I know the next problem is also going to be the spacing. If I order something too narrow or too wide, I don't want tires rubbing against my fender or rubbing against the inside. So it needs to be right. I've developed an idea though. I'm going to measure my other trailer and figure out where that hub rides. Alright, so I'm out here on my RV trailer, and what I have done is, first of all, I clamped this big carpentry square against this flat spot here. This is the hub face, and that is where you take these measurements from. And my big question right now is that centered inside the wheel well? And the answer is yes. I measured the width of the inside of the wheel well. It is 10 inches. And then this square, or also the hub face, is 5 inches off of either wall. So it's right in the center. So that gives me a really good idea on how to measure this new axle. And so now I measure center of the fender to center of the fender, and now I'm going to order an axle that has hub faces that match that measurement. I know my spring perches are a different measurement. I'm going to have to order just order a standard axle, cut off the old spring perches, and mount some new ones. That's not a big deal though. This has been bothering me for like 2 months. I've gone back and forth on a lot of different ideas, but this is my final. This is what I'm doing, and so this is 87 inches side to side to the center of the fender. And you can buy axles on eTrailer.com that are 86.5 inch axles. So that is going to mean this is a 1/4 inch inboard on both sides. That's perfect. That works. Just yesterday, UPS dropped off a brand new axle. I'm going to open it up and then put it on the trailer and see if it fits. A couple of these bolts are sideways. I think they just got knocked loose. This one I straightened out with a hammer just now. I think this is fine. This other side had this grease cap on it right here. It's all nice and shiny. Not sure why that other side had one, but this does not look like a problem. All right, let's go size it up. Alright, so I knew the spring perches were going to be a little bit short. That should be right here. I am either going to relocate the springs inboard a little bit more, or this axle is just too short. Here's what it looks like on this side. We're not going to have enough clearance right here for this backing plate. That backing plate will mount up flush against this this mounting bracket. So that is going to be a problem. Let's look at the other side. Yeah, same thing over here.
I'm happy to report that eTrailer.com has great customer service. I called them, told them that last axle was the wrong size. They said, no problem, send us back the axle, we'll refund you the full amount. I did pay for shipping, it was like $30 or something from UPS, but they sent the label and UPS took it. I ordered a new axle, 3 inches longer, and that's what you see here. That's the right size for this trailer. In other news, I bought a brand new welder. I got the cheapest one that Harbor Freight sells. It was $104, and we're learning how to weld. I barely know how to do it myself, but we got some welds on and got those brackets mounted in the perfect position, and now you can see us here putting it underneath the trailer, test fitting it, dry fitting it, making sure it all sits in the right place where we want it to be sitting. Got those U-bolts on, and it looked great.
So these are the U-bolts that came with the kit. These fit this axle perfectly. It's what it's made for. But take a look here. I had to end up using my old U-bolts because I've got these single leaf springs, and when this was all the way on, we had the nuts snugged all the way up, and then there was still room. It wasn't pinching this plate up and squeezing everything together. So this was not part of the plan, but it's what I had to do to adapt. I'll show you real quick what it looks like on another axle. Alright, so this is up underneath my travel trailer. It's a 3,500 pound trailer, but those are the leaf springs. There's 3 leaves. Those are 5,000 or 6,000 pound axles on that other trailer, so the leaf springs would be thicker. That's why those threads are a little bit longer. And here is my U-bolt in the vise. I've got my tap and die kit out. I'm cleaning all of this up. I'm not sure how easy that is to see if it's focusing correctly, but some of these threads are smashed down, they're dirty, packed with rust and all kinds of road, dirt and dust and whatnot. So they all needed to be cleaned up, and because these handles are a little too long, I've had to unthread this thing and thread it in up here and do a half turn the whole freaking way around. And so to clean up all 8 of these bolts, this has taken like 3 hours. A lot of time going into this, but that's what needed to be done to get these back into good shape. Well, I'm going to call this the end of part 1 right here. We've got a lot more to do. I've got a second axle to order. All the wiring, decking, all that still needs to happen. So that'll all happen in the next installment of this video, but that's enough for right now. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on part 2. Bye.